Hi everybody, this is another flying rookie video, and this is a quick review and flight test of the CYCLOPS Breeze OSD from Foxtech. Okay, so this is a screenshot of the layout of the OSD, and you can see over here all the stuff that comes with it. It kind of looks similar to some of the other CYCLOPS OSD on the market. Okay, but this one doesn't have autopilot are the ones that are meant to be used on airplanes. Okay, so first of all, over here, this is the voltage for the FPV equipment. That's why it says V, because the voltage for video. And in the bottom, that's the P, that's the power voltage. That is the one that powers, tells you the voltage from the main battery. This one over here is the timer, and this is the one that tells you, the flying time. Over here, that's the measures, how fast you're climbing or decreasing altitude while you're flying, and I got it set up on feet per second because it's set up on Imperial. Over here it tells you on feet, how far from home are you flying. That's a really cool feature. Okay, over here in the center, that's the circle over there, represent the aircraft, and that little line that you see right there, it represents where home is located. So if the line is behind your aircraft, that means home is behind you. So once you turn around, the line is going to move towards the front, and that means that you are heading towards home. So that's the purpose of that line to point where home is. Okay, over here it tells you the miles per hour, and I got it set up on Imperial as well. And in the other side, to the right, that's the altitude. Okay, it's right here. It tells you how high you're off the ground. I got it set up on feet. Over here is the bearing, that's the compass, so it tells you, north, south, east, or west, which direction you are flying to. Okay, over here, that's a really cool feature because that's similar to the trip meter that you got on your car. So it's not like the distance from home, like the measurement, that you got over here in the bottom. In the top, it tells you the total distance that you are flying, and that's really cool because you can tell what's any given range that you get with any given battery that you use. So that's a nice, very nice feature to have on an OSD, and that's really cool. Over here in the top, that's the coordinates. So it tells you the coordinate, latitude, longitude. And the problem is that because I'm using also the OSD on my GoPro, it's kind of hard to see, but in the next flight I'll do, I'm going to turn off the OSD on my GoPro so I can clearly see that. And it's really cool because you got any kind of situation with your aircraft, if you crash or something, you can put the coordinates on Google Earth and find your aircraft, as long as you got a DVR recording the video, if you do on distant flights. And finally, this is the GPS antenna icon, and next to it, it shows you how many satellites you acquire. So that's pretty much it. So let's proceed to fly the aircraft so you can see how this thing works. Okay, so I'm about to take off, and you can see sometimes with this minor vibrations of the aircraft, it fluctuates, some of the bodies, but then they just go back to normal. Right now I'm on higher ground, and I'm gonna fly to an area that's a lower ground, and because this OSD comes with a barometer that works together with the GPS, when you suddenly switch from higher ground to lower ground, you see that the altitude on the right side fluctuates, greatly, but then, little by little, he self-adjusts. And I mean, it's kind of sucky because in a way it's not that precise. Well, I understand why they put the barometer, because let's say, for example, you are, on lower ground, you decide to fly on top of a hill. The altitude that you're gonna get is the altitude from the area where you're standing. But obviously, you're flying top of a hill. You're gonna be closer to, the ground on the hill. So you wanna make sure that your GPS, your barometer detects the air pressure. It tells you, that even if you are let's say you are flying, like 500 feet, and the hill is 400 feet. As soon as you are in top of that hill, it's gonna tell you, you know, like that you only got, you know, 100 feet below you. You know, so that's a cool feature. The only difference is it doesn't work that precise. But right now, as you can see, the altitude that I'm getting, that's around 250 feet. That sounds about right. You know, if you see the circle on the center, and you can see that little line that is moving around, you know, that tells me, you know, that home right now is like around 4 o'clock. So that's really nice to have that, because that way you can tell, you know, which direction is home, and all you have to do is just turn around and point it, you know, towards home, you know, when you want to return. Let's say you get a little bit lost, that thing's help you. In the bottom, you can see the distance down from home. So it's I'm right now getting a little bit closer. I'm not flying towards home, but the area where I'm flying, I'm kind of keeping the same distance from home, going up and down a little bit. So I'm around, now I'm like over 1,700 feet away. The speed I'm been sustaining, I've been in the upper 30s miles per hour. So that's like around, I don't know, 15 kilometers per hour, something like that. And right now I'm about to reach close to 300 feet on altitude. It just fluctuates all crazy, but it's because of the trees. It just going, you know, trees going over the trees and then going over flat surface. You know, it just made that fluctuate. That's the only little problem that I got with this OSD. While I call the trip meter that is in the top, it tells me right now that I'm flying. So far, all the flight that I'm done is 1.6 miles. So that's really cool. And the cool thing with that is if you decide to do, you know, like long distance, you know, FPV flights, you can, by flying close by or flying around, you can really tell, you know, what's the range that you can get with any given battery. And right now, I'm about to reach um, uh, 2 miles, but I know this battery will give me a better range than that. And you can see the compass in the top. It's moving around and telling me, you know, the distance. I mean the bearing. So right now I'm pointing north, and I know that river goes north, but now north is going, you know, towards the right. So that's really nice, you know, have all this information. It's very helpful. And finally, you can see the antenna. I got, you know, I believe he says he got like 3 or 4 satellites, well locked, and also you can see the coordinates on the top. I mean, it's kind of sucky that getting a little bit blend with the OSD of the GoPro. Or like I said, that's something that's gonna be resolved, because I'm gonna, next Friday I go with this. I'm gonna disable the GoPro OSD, so that way I can see only my own OSD. Okay, so I'm right now pretty much I'm at home, and that's why I'm standing right next to the fence. And you know what? This is a really nice feature. You know that, you know, to add on a multicopter. I saw that on Foxtech website that they came out with a newer version of the Breeze OSD that they call it the Breeze OSD Pro. But what I don't like is that one comes with a voltage sensor, and the problem with that is that way to the whole system. Like for example, this one doesn't have a voltage sensor. This one just got it's kind of like a voltage sensor, but it's built in, and it tells you the voltage. But the all the time the Breeze OSD Pro, the voltage sensor is most sophisticated, because it tells you also the current drawn from the battery to the aircraft. And for some people that's important, but in my case for me it's not, especially on a multicopter, because an airplane normally flies with one single motor and one single ESC. So you're supposed to solder the ESC between the motor and the battery connector, and and that's of the purpose of, you know, measuring, you know, the current that you are drawing from the battery, plus it tells you the voltage as well. But the problem is, in the multicopter got 4 ESCs, so you will have to solder that to the power distribution board, and your ESCs draw more current that the current uh, 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 sensor is designed to handle, you can burn the current sensor. In the case of this one, all you do is just plug it directly to the power distribution board, and it always going to tell you the voltage, but it's not going to measure the current drawn. But you know, I don't care. You know, the only problem is that when you got these OSDs that got the, you know, the separate, you know, current sensor, it's more heavier. It makes your OSD system more heavier. Right now, this is the I got the two Cyclops CE OSDs, and they do have the current sensor. Plus, I got this one that is the Breeze OSD, and this one is in total 40 grams lighter than the Cyclops COSD. And the COSD, I bought it because it doesn't have the autopilot and all that nonsense that you don't really need on a multi-copter. The autopilot, that's for if you use it on an airplane. That would be like the Nova or the Storm OSD from um, from uh, um, from Foxtech, you know, the Cyclops Storm or the Nova. And but in the case of multicopters, you need that because your flight controller is the one that does that. You know, so I purchased this one because of the reason that I feel it's more suited for multicopters. So I just hope, you know, they continue making this one alongside with the Pros, and that way people that use multicopters, they can use this one and then need to buy the Pro, so that way they can save weight and get more flying time. Okay, so I'm about to land, so this is pretty much the end of this video, and you can see the stats of the altitude, speed, and distance from home, and total, you know, flying distance that I flew. Okay, so please don't forget to rate, comment, subscribe, favorite, and share this video. And thanks for watching, everybody. Bye.